Gauntlet.
Punching their tickets to the Global Gauntlet Finals.
Qualified for the Global Gauntlet.
They are to the finals.
Global Gauntlet.
Hello and welcome back to the Global Gauntlet Rewound, where we take a look at the matches from Global Gauntlet 1 finals that were not featured on stream. Today we got Black Lotus, we got 07 Quartet. My name's Spicy, joined on the mic here with Matt. How are we feeling going into this matchup?
Whew, I am very excited to look back at these. As we know, it is a replay from the matches that weren't streamed. I remember this is one of the ones that I was very excited to see. I wanted to see the results of, and I fell asleep. It was very early in the morning for me. So I'm very excited to see the outcome of these two teams here. Starting off, looking at the roster at Black Lotus, we have Noctix, Anger, Naives, and Pyro.
Yeah, honestly, you look at this team here, Black Lotus, one of the EU favorites, kind of on a resurgence in a way here, and you see what they have. Great players just across the board, interesting comp selections. Really interested to see how they ended up playing this matchup against 07 Quartet.
Yeah, I mean, especially we want to look at their X powers. The huge difference between the Western scene's X powers and the Japanese scene's X powers. Now, looking over at 07 Quartet roster, we have, as you can see, the XP is a lot different over here. We have Samurai Kasato, Suemaru Zitachi, and Nemu Alpha. And as you can see, those X powers are a lot different over on the Western side. And if I was a player on Black Lotus, I'd be a little nervous here. But as we do know, we have a lot of very strong players, especially Samurai Kasato, that is one of the, if not best E-leader in the scene right now.
Yeah, correct. And it's really interesting when you look at 07 Quartet's composition as a whole, where it is actually centered around this E-leader from Samurai Kasato. So when you have the utility players and you have just that kind of thing going on here, like even though Samurai Kasato doesn't have like the highest maximum X power, this team is centered around that composition and not something you see all the time. So I'm really excited to see how this ends up playing out, especially at this point in that bracket.
Yeah, looking in here, starting off with our strikes, Black Lotus is going to take the first two. And I believe we have them right here. We have Crab Leg Capital and Eel Tail Alley. So two maps that are very linear, which is going to favor them because they know that E-leader. They know that Crab Leg and Eel Tail are both maps that E-leader favors a lot. So getting those out of the way is going to be really good for Black Lotus. And looking over for 07 Quartet, they are going to be picking Urchin Underpass and Manta Maria. So two maps that I believe don't really favor E-leader that well. So I can definitely see a difference here. But looking at our selected stage, we're going to be going to Barnacle and Dime, which is, I think, a map that is going to be a little bit different, a little difficult for Black Lotus to move around, especially with that leader. So they're going to have to pay really close attention to them. But Black Lotus is one of those teams. They know how to play together. They know what they're doing. And they're here to make an effort to take down these monsters of 07 Quartet. Going in for game one, we have our zones. We have our Barnacle and Dime. Let's see what these two teams got.
Yeah, we're immediately seeing that a lot of the weapons we saw forecasted are basically going to be the ones we see here in this first match as well. It's going to be interesting just to see how this opening interaction just plays out. Both these teams rushing in towards mid. Black Lotus taking a little bit more time just to get there as well. And you're already seeing Costo already having that kind of setup now with this E-leader, as you do see 07 Quartet finding the double as well, as they already have control of the zone already.
Immediately Zitachi with the double, and right away 07 Quartet going in for that lockout. We see Kasato set up with that E-leader, already getting the pick off of Noctis, completely moving in to lock them out. We see Knives go down again to Kasato, and this lockout is going to be huge, and Black Lotus doesn't have too much time. They got to formulate a push. They got to get their specials rolling. They want to push out here.
Yeah, a great double there from Black Lotus, at least to even it out for now, but they got to figure out a way to get back towards the zone. As you see, Nemu Alpha just having a great time here, finding multiple picks, finding another onto Pyro, and this zone is just still full of green. The points are ticking away already at the 15.
And we see Kazuto completely set up with another, and that's actually a double, I believe, onto the side of Black Lotus, and that is a quick lockout in 07 Quartet, taking a very dominant first game over Black Lotus. I mean, the second two of them went down, the lockout had just started, and I don't believe Black Lotus could even cap the zone once.
Yeah, that was an effective 100-0 at that point there. It was all 07 Quartet from the beginning. You immediately just look at the statistics as they come up, and yeah, very one-sided in favor of our Japanese team here. And if you even look at those things, you see the 100% kill participation, even the 128% kill participation apparently, and that's just, it goes to show just how one-sided the team fighting was in favor of 07 Quartet. Now Black Lotus gets a chance to respond and just to see what they end up doing.
Yeah, it's going to be their pick here. But before we get to decide the stage there, 07 has their strikes as they get to choose another 2 stages to ban. First one going to be Humpback Pump Track and Marlin Airport. And now it's going to be up to Black Lotus to try to pick 2 maps that are really not going to favor 07 Quartet, and it's going to be on Umami Ruins.
Yeah, I like the selection overall from the side of Black Lotus. Picking in general, I like having the 2-zone map here, or 2-zone stage as well for this team, especially when you consider that the E-Leader is just such a dominant presence at this point. Anything you can do to like kind of divert the attention there, the objective just being split down the middle as well, making the claiming it just absolutely difficult as you look at the analysis here. So I'm interested to see how this ends up playing out, what Black Lotus will do as well, playstyle wise, maybe weapon wise, to respond here.
Going in here, I mean, Black Lotus is gonna have to be really careful on those lockouts. They cannot go down like they did in this previous game, and it's gonna be up to them to try to retake that zone in the best way possible. And I mean, looking at these comps, we see pretty much the same weapons out from both sides here as both teams heading in straight for their zone. Immediately, we see Nemu Alpha on the offense with the reflux, trying to get whatever picks that they can here. And Sitachi is set up with that blast, able to get the pick off of Nautix, trying to jump down, trying to get whatever other picks that they can. Again, they trade off of knives before being taken out.
Yeah, and so far, so much. We see 07 Quartet once again with both zones this time here, already past the 80 ink back now from Naives. Is going to do a great job here, I believe, doing that. You see the Reef Slider coming from Nemu Alpha, and that is going to take 1 pick as they do get traded out. But all the attention is diverted by multiple players going down in the process here, as you still see that 07 Quartet still in control of the zone. Costo also able to provide these jumps for their team.
I mean, it's such a great placement here. Costo has such a dominant position here. They have that Waybreaker ready. They're close that back from Black Lotus. They want to move in here. They have the specials to do so. They have that Zuka. They're looking to make that effort, and they are able to cap one of those zones as the members of 07 Quartet are quick to respond, able to get 2 picks onto the board there. Trying to find his 3rd swim. Madu just barely single out painting that zone, but it does look like Naives is able to take them out, but it's still taken away, and they have to paint over these zones.
Yeah, it's going to be neutral as for now, at least with 1 zone each. But you have to notice that 07 Quartet already at the 10 here. They are so close, already in the single digits now. They are 2 members down, but 2 members down as well for Black Lotus. And 07 Quartet is going to put Black Lotus in an 0-2 situation to start this set, and another 100-0 here.
That's going to be very interesting to see how can Black Lotus respond to this. I mean, both of these games have been super lockout heavy, and it's going to be up to them to decide how are we going to push back in here. We saw they had that push going, especially using the vacuum, able to get some type of footing here, and they're able to cap the zone for a little bit. But when it comes down to Umami, you got to get both of those zones, and Black Lotus was only able to get one of them. And using what 07 Quartet knew, they were able to counter that perfectly, taking game 2. And now all of the pressure is going to be on Black Lotus. If they don't win this next game, then it's going to be a 3-0 sweep. So they have to be very careful with what they're going to be picking here.
Definitely, yeah. We are waiting for the bands now from '07 Quartet. It's going to be Undertow Spillway and Inkblood Art Academy. Meanwhile, still waiting on the selection here from Black Lotus for what they're going to do. At this point, it is do or die, as you mentioned, down 0-2, and we are just waiting to see what it's going to be. It does look like we are going to Brinewater here for Game 3.
This is going to be very interesting because I think me and you both know how strong E-Leader is on this map. So I'm very interested to see how what was Black Lotus's mindset picking a map like this, which should in theory favor '07 Quartet. So it's just interesting to see why they would pick this map, but it's up to them to take this game. If they don't take this game, it is over, but they still have one more chance to make it happen. So let's see what Black Lotus is going to do in response to this 0-2 situation.
Yes, and obviously with Brinewater, volatility is a big thing here as well. Seeing a couple weapon swaps from the side of Black Lotus here. So interested to see how this ends up playing out. There's not a lot of space here. The zone is relatively small. So you are going to just see a lot of team fighting. A lot of that kill participation is going to be way up here. Kasato, once again, already established a fairly dominant backline position as noted here from Brinewater, and you see the '07 Quartet immediately taking the fight towards Black Lotus, as well as having control of the zone, having the tactical already. 2 down now from the side of Black Lotus, and we're already past the 70 now.
Going into the 60s, soon into the 50s, we see Nemu very strong on the weak throws, able to get another pick before Noctis is able to pick it up here onto that zone. They're able to trade out with Zitachi, but Black Lotus was able to cap the zone, applying a 35 penalty to '07 Quartet, but they are very quick to respond to that, recapping that zone over, and it's up to Black Lotus to think of a push to really make sure they're not completely locked out, because they still have some space to move around.
Yeah, and Alpha, Nimrod just trying to go in the Grease Slider, doesn't get it effectively though. And Black Lotus is on the board, and they are going to find some more here. And now they're going to work their way out of their penalty. Zitachi kind of pushed up, but kind of pushed into the corner. They are going to be able to find this splat though, really impressively. As you do see '07 Quartet once again in control of the zone. Grease Slider getting canceled out, but it is going to end up finding with that splashdown. Gonna find that double, and great stuff here as you see the '07 Quartet pushing for a lockout situation.
Nemu Alpha really up on that offense. A lot of the members aren't even completely on the zone here, but '07 Quartet really has this heavy lockout. Even Kasato is up in their base as Black Lotus is trying to find a way to move out here. They have the Wavebreaker, they have the strikes, the bazooka. They're doing whatever they can to peer over the zone, and they are able to cap it over with the help of that splash shot. Nox is able to get the pick off of Zitachi, and the jump out secures Black Lotus this push, and with another pick, Black Lotus is going to be looking to get on their plat, trying to make whatever efforts they can to push in here, but we see multiple going down on the side of Black Lotus, and this is going to be a very scary hold for them.
Yeah, and that was a good set of points here from Black Lotus, at least to stop the momentum from '07 Quartet. But '07 Quartet, once again, in control of the zone. You see what Kasato is going to be able to do here right behind that block in mid. And you are just wondering, Black Lotus, what's their next move here? What's their next push going to be? So we have to watch this penalty starting to trickle down now as well. Halfway through the game in terms of the timer. But you are once again going to see Black Lotus respond. But the Reef Slider coming in to neutralize the zone once again. And a lot of fighting is happening. The splashdown coming in through, finding the double here, and all of this happening. Black Lotus with the zone again until it neutralizes and goes back to '07 Quartet.
Just leaving Anger on this zone to fight off. Nemu gets another pick off of them, going down eventually, and Black Lotus has control over that zone here, but again, they're 2 down, and it doesn't seem like they're able to hold too well. Whenever they do hold, they go 1 or 2 down here. Suemaru completely painting over that zone with that Tri-Slosher, making sure they can keep that score rolling with that 33 penalty, slowly ticking away. Zitachi up on the offense, but Pyro able to take him out on that heavy. They have that Wavebreaker ready, and Black Lotus is ready to respond.
Yeah, and response indeed. You're seeing both these teams just throwing specials into the zone just to get something going, whether it be to flip the zone or maintain it here. A lot of things happening when you see O7 Quartet go 3 down. It is just Samurai Kazuto who is up at this point, but you are trying to see what's gonna be the play. Black Lotus about to be outside of their penalty here, trying to apply a lockout of their own as well, and seeing if they can do anything just to hold off from this O7 Quartet push that's coming through. Black Lotus is able to keep the zone into a neutral state and take control once again, though.
And we see the Heavy able to get the pick off of Suemadu, leaving Kazuto to try to get this pick off of the Heavy, but it's not going to be enough. And they're 3 down again, and Black Lotus has complete control over the situation. They're slowly ticking down here, and the members of O7 Quartet have one more push to take it back here. Black Lotus takes the lead, and they're up in their base. We see Anger with that 10 shield immediately coming in, and that's going to be a wipeout. And with that, that confirms the game, and Black Lotus is going to be taking game 3, staying alive in this set.
Yeah, backs against the wall. Black Lotus finds the wipe in the 11th hour to basically put the dagger into that game here in a match where it was such volatility. The zone kept flipping back. It is Black Lotus who is able to come out on top, keep this set going at least for one more game.
And wow, what a powerful comeback from Black Lotus. I mean, they were on that retake for a while. They were stuck in their base. O7 Quartet was looking very promising. I mean, they locked them out multiple times there. But Black Lotus shows how worthy they are of being the winner, as they did win the second qualifier here. It shows how determined they are to make their effort into this tournament, taking game 3 off of O7 Quartet. And that was an amazing performance. I mean, even with O7 Quartet getting so far onto the scoreboard, Black Lotus was able to come back and completely, at one point, just lock out the members of O7 Quartet, which isn't something we've seen a lot this tournament.
For sure, yeah. And for the first time since going into game 1, Black Lotus will have an opportunity to strike 2 stages, and O7 Quartet will now have an opportunity to select at what their counter pick will be here. Bluefin and Museum being the stages struck out now from the side of Black Lotus. O7 Quartet, with their counter pick selection, is going to opt for Mahi-Mahi Resort.
And this is going to be a very, very high intense game. I mean, we've seen how Black Lotus was able to respond to O7 Quartet's complete lockout. So let's see what they're going to be doing here. This is a map that's going to be very dangerous for both teams, as we know. Before that zone reaches a certain score, the map is going to be very small. And we actually see a double 52 comp coming up from O7 Quartet. That's the first time we've actually seen that.
Yeah, first time we're seeing that from O7 Quartet. They've been tried and true with their comps so far. Black Lotus actually reverting back to stuff they were using initially at the beginning of the set as well. The zone immediately going to go blue in favor of O7 Quartet, and they find the double immediately, make that a triple. They're going to look for a little bit more, but they are going to get stopped out as Pyro is at least able to stay alive until they get splatted out here by Nemu Alpha. And once again, you are seeing O7 Quartet now with the dominant position again, and what's now a matter of seeing is Black Lotus going to have some deja vu. We're going to have anything similar to what we just saw in that last game. Zone's going to go back to neutral, and Black Lotus on the board now.
Immediately able to lock them out there, getting a sneaky pick onto Kasato before the members of O7 Quartet completely back up. But we see Zitachi able to get the pick off of Noctix, and the members of O7 Quartet are very quick to respond. Anger fighting off Suemadu on that left side of the map here, as all of the members are trying to move in there. They're able to get one of the picks there, leaving just Noctix to fight off Suemadu. They are able to get the pick. Black Lotus able to take that lead 2 down the side of O7 Quartet, and this is looking promising for them.
Yeah, Black Lotus with a lot of momentum up until this point now. Already at the 35, looking for more, and the zone is still maintained in orange. O7 Quartet trying to see if there's going to be any types of plays they're going to be able to do. Kasato going to find the pick onto Pyro. The Reef Slider coming in, and there's the wipe to change the momentum, to alter the story here. And you are going to see O7 Quartet coming back to what they do best. They are going to try and find his lockout position here too, and see how they're going to be able to just get some more points on the board.
We see they're slowly taking away their penalties over Zitachi. Up on that offense, fighting all 4 members of Black Lotus. There goes that back. Anger moving in. Noctic's also moving in there. They're making sure Kazuto isn't able to pick them off here, but the Reef Slider coming in there. Able to get Knives and Anger. Nemu Alpha super strong on this Reef Slider and able to lock out Black Lotus for a second time, and that score is slowly ticking away, and 07 Quartet is going to take a lead, not leaving Black Lotus with a lot of time to respond.
Yeah, no time at all here, and 2 members down. 07 Quartet sees the ending here, but they do have a little pause. But in the end, 07 Quartet will clinch the set 3-1 here with a Game 4 win in Mahi-Mahi Resort, and what was eventually a real back and forth game.
I mean, we saw how well Black Lotus was responding. They were able to take Game 3 and get all the way down to 18 on Game 4. It was such a powerful comeback that they had going. But 07 Quartet, I especially want to point out Samurai Kasato and Nemu Alpha. They were very strong throughout the entire set. Those are the 2 players I was looking at the most, especially Nemu Alpha. Those Reef Sliders were truly incredible.
Yeah, the Reef Sliders opened up so many opportunities there for 07 Quartet, especially that has had its roller coaster of a career in this game, but it has led to the team just being able to follow up in so many different ways, just being such a great entry point, as well as being able to flip zone, get those picks. A lot of different things here from the side of 07 Quartet. Do want to give a big shout out to Black Lotus as well. They really improved over the duration of this set, and by the time we were in that Game 4, you really thought they were going to be able to push it to a Game 5, and at that point, who knows what would have happened there.
Yeah, and that is going to be the end of that set. Our socials are right below. Make sure to go check us out, and that will be the end of our match with Black Lotus in 07 Quartet.
Best to give me your loyalty, 'cause I'm taking the world, you'll see. They'll be calling me, they'll be calling me royalty. Best to